Okay, students, let's do this program. Actually, ये program जो है, we actually type 3 characters and put it in the array and then display it back. लेकिन ये program जो है, I will use in this program the model small. और जो models होते हैं, the memory models actually. What kind of memory model you use? There are many memory models, जैसे tiny है, small, medium, compact, large, huge और flat. जो टाइनी होता है वो कॉम प्रोग्राम के लिए लगता है, उसमें हमारे पास एक ही सेगमेंट होता है एंड ऑल द 4 सेगमेंट्स लाइक कोड, डेटा, स्टैक एंड एक्स्ट्रा वो हमारे पास होते हैं इन द इन द सेम सेगमेंट ऑफ साइज 64K. लेकिन जो मेरे पास यहाँ पे आमतौर जो हम इस्तेमाल करते हैं दैट इज स्मॉल मॉडल स्मॉल. इसमें एक डेटा सेगमेंट कम से कम होता है आपको, और एक कोड सेगमेंट तो होता ही है एंड डेटा सेगमेंट भी होता है. एंड एक्चुअली हम मेमोरी मॉडल इसलिए इस्तेमाल करते हैं ताकि हमारे पास शॉर्टकट्स होते हैं. इससे हमारा जो असेंबलर होता है वो शॉर्टकट करता है, प्रोवाइड सम शॉर्टकट्स इन डिफाइनिंग सेगमेंट्स. तो हमें इनिशियलाइज करना पड़ता है मेमोरी मॉडल्स को ताकि हम किसी सेगमेंट को इस्तेमाल करें. जो डिफरेंट मॉडल्स होते हैं वो असेंबलर को बताते हैं कि उन सेगमेंट्स को कैसे इस्तेमाल करना है, उन्हें कितनी स्पेस देनी है फॉर द ऑब्जेक्ट कोड एंड टू एंश्योर ऑप्टिमम एग्जीक्यूशन स्पीड एक्चुअली. एंड जो हम मेमोरी मॉडल अगर हम इस्तेमाल करेंगे, जो हमें डॉट से इस्तेमाल करते हैं, डॉट मॉडल लाइक दैट, उससे क्या होता है कि जो हमारे पास असेंबलर होगा है वो खुद इनिशियलाइजेशन करेगा फॉर द सेगमेंट्स एंड एज वेल. एंड हमारा जो एज्यूम जैसे डायरेक्टिव है वो भी करने की ज़रूरत नहीं है, बिकॉज दैट विल बी सेल्फ डन. So let us start the program to understand what I'm saying. We have here first I will tell about the model model. जो मॉडल मेरे पास है that is tiny, एक डेटा सेगमेंट होने वाला है. Dot stack, I will say then dot stack dot data I need. बाकी जो काम है वो असेंबलर खुद करेगा. नो एंड डायरेक्टिव्स एंड एक्सेट्रा वो खुद असेंबलर काम करेगा. But the data I need, in data I will fill something like show. This will be my show, and I will say db 10,13, and this is for the new line. This is for new line code. Then I will say character db of say 3, for example 3, and I will say dup and initialize nothing question mark. So this is this is for the new line, and this is for actually this will initialize me there, and this will get me an array of size 3 and having nothing inside, okay, of type this is a defined byte. So 3 bytes will be allocated for char, and maybe I will say then end of char, end of char db. I will say it's end of char, so I should say $sign, and that's it. This is the data I needed, and maybe I need some message here, also a message db, in which I will tell that you typed this, okay. Quotes close, comma 10, comma 13 is for the new line, and to end the string we need a $sign, and that's I'm finished with the data. No need to say and data and whatever, because my compiler will take it itself. So I have to say only data. Then I'll say dot code. So, and I will use a label, stock label maybe. Whatever is not necessary to start, you can put some main or whatever name you put in. This is to tell compiler that you have to, assembler to you have to start from this. this point onwards. And then I will say some boilerplate code AX comma, but this time around I have to say at the rate of data, not just data. You know, segment registers are initialized like this indirectly. पहले आप general purpose register यानी कि AX में डालिए, फिर AX को आप DS में डालें. Then I will say move DS comma AX. Absolutely. And also I have here to say, for example, I got to do because मुझे भरना है data in the char, in this char which is of array of 3 bytes, so I will put its offset into the dx, or maybe sorry bx, maybe whatever, bx comma offset char. Then I actually use a code to input data from the keyboard, that is I move from into h of the function 01h, that's of interrupt 21h, this is of the interrupt 21h. It is 21h. Interrupt 21h key function 01h, because when interrupt 21 came in, assembler will chuck the what is in AH. At that time it is 01h. Accordingly, it will be actually multiplied by 4, and that location, that's 41 is equal to 4. That is fourth location in the IVT, interrupt vector table, is seen. There will be the address of the memory location where this function is written. Actually, interrupt service routine is written. This will be executed there. So when I get data from it, actually 01h gets data into the AL register from the keyboard. So I had to put it where? I have to put it in the this thing, in the char, and char is this time its offset is in a BX, so address is in the BX. So I will drop at the contents of BX. So I will say move contents of BX comma AL, because this 01h gets data from the keyboard and puts in the AL register, and I have to put in AL into actually this char, and this char address is inside the BX now. BX points to this, so contents of BX means to put into the char, and this will be and the first byte of the char. So next time I have to put maybe in the second byte of the char, then I have to go to do what? I have to increment BX to point second location of char. It's like an array, you can understand this. So I will say increment what else? BX, is it or not? Yeah. So you got to increment BX. Maybe you have to do it for the 3. This will be only one time, but we have to do it for 3 times, so I need to loop this thing. So I create a label. I create somewhere a label. What should I do? And if I have to do it 3 times, or say 4 times, whatever, but it is a 3 times actually, because it's a 3 bytes long array. So I have to initialize CX register with the 3. So I will say here move CX comma 3. That means what? This is the counter variable into the CX register. It's a 3 times I'm gonna do this, and maybe I have to jump it, so I have to create a label somewhere and jump there to the label unless this CX hits 0, because it's a counter variable and the loop occurs, it gets decremented. I get 2 ban jayega, if 0, when it is 0 it will come out of the loop. So I will create label maybe here. Yeah, I will create a label here, Sifrigun Johnny. The label, just a label, and then I have to loop to that Jenny. Is it or not? So maybe I'm going to format it first. Yeah, from here I will say loop Jenny. So this means go to this part of code, and this will go until the loop will chuck the CX register. When the CX is 0, it will go out, and when it loops, the CX gets decremented. It becomes 2, then 1, then 0, and that's so 3 times this thing will happen. And in first time we have the what is called as this because h will have 01h, only we need interrupt 21h. So no need to say label here. I could put label here, no, not necessarily there, because I don't want to run this code, this piece of code again and again. यानी कि 01h बार बार h में डालने की जरूरत नहीं है. एक बार 01 हमने h में डाला, and it is actually the interrupt 21 which has to do work. So interrupt 21 क्या करता है? When the interrupt 21 assembler देखता है, it actually chucks the h. उसमें already 01h हमें डल चुका है, यानी कि इन तीनों बारी में हमेशा h में 01h ही होगा, so it will do the same job. और लूप से ऑटोमेटिकली जो है cx खुद डिक्रीमेंट होगा. So I should not loop it here, because if it goes here, after the before the move cx, ये फिर से cx को initialize करेगा 3. That means cx डिक्रीमेंट होगा एक लूप से, लेकिन बाद में फिर इसको री-इनिशियलाइजेशन हो जाएगी. So ये infinite loop बन जाएगा, इससे बाहर नहीं आएगा कभी. So I should put Johnny here, this label here after the cx, क्योंकि एक लूप से इसको डिक्रीमेंट होगा, नया कोड यहाँ से चलेगा. Interrupt 21h will see what is an AH at that time, and that is 01h, and it means that you have to get something from the keyboard and put in an AL, and AL जो होगा, अब AL में जो आया डेटा वो हमें डालना है not on in the BX. I don't want in the BX, I want जो BX में इस वक्त address है at that location. So BX has the address, because that's why I'm saying it, the bracket sign, that this means the contents of this BX. That means what this BX is pointing to, and BX is pointing to what here? It's pointing to character offset. That means it has the address of this character. So first, because it has 3 bytes, it will have in the first byte now the first character. Then I increment BX. Then BX will point to the second character, second byte of this jar, and उसमें फिर आप 21h से जो आपने कीबोर्ड से आएगा वो डालेगा. Then third time also, but increment bx, so it will be now in the third byte, and counter यहाँ से बन जाएगा 0, it hits 0, and loop will come out, and by this way I have initialized my array. Now my array is initialized. What I got to do next is to what to do next? To just display it. Yeah. So what I gotta do is first maybe I will give this message, and when I have to type give a message like this, a string variable, that is interrupt 21 की हमें उस वक्त function लगती है 09h. So we have to put into the move into the AH में हमें put करना है 09h. This is for the string, and 09h काम करता है स्ट्रिंग्स के ऊपर, ये स्ट्रिंग प्रिंट करेगा, लेकिन इसके लिए 2 चीजें पता होनी चाहिए. एक तो हमें पता होनी चाहिए कि कौन सी स्ट्रिंग प्रिंट करनी है, दैट्स द नेम ऑफ द स्ट्रिंग, दैट्स योर मैसेज फॉर एग्जांपल, एंड सेकंड थिंग कि इसका ऑफसेट कितना है. सो वी शुड फर्स्ट पुट ऑफसेट ऑफ this message into the dx, because it works with the dx. So I have to put move dx comma offset इसका message. So this is I'm telling you 2 things here कि dx में आप offset डालो किसका, message का. Now when I hit interrupt 21h, actually is the interrupt 21h which will be seen, and otherwise it's just a normal number, hexadecimal number 9 put in h. वो कोई बात ही, वो कोई function नहीं है. लेकिन जब interrupt 21h जब देखा जाएगा, assembler देखेगा इसको, वो h को check करेगा, उसमें 09h होगा, इसको multiply by 4 करेगा, and that location 4936 for example, that location in the IVT will have the address of the function जो हमें print कराएगी message को. Understand? So it's actually interrupt 21, the DOS interrupt, which will locate us to the particular function, a routine written for this thing. For example, this time to write a message. Okay, by this our message will be printed. Okay, fine. Now it's time actually to message is okay, message is done, we are done with the message. 10 and 13 here actually means the new line. It's carriage return of the line feed, and dollar should end all these what is this messages, understand? So whatever, and now it's time to print actually the number. the number we have. So I will again use the interrupt 9h to print this. This will have first here. I will print it from here onward, this one, because this has the contiguous memory allocations. First is the byte for the new line, then 3 bytes for the character, and then for the end. So this will be like a string. Like I put in all things here: the string, the new line, and the dollar. I put in the 3 consecutive memory locations. So I have to give 09h needs something in the DX register to print, because here you see 09h needs DX and offset to print. So I will put in the DX this show, and it will go up to the dollar sign. So everything from show to the dollar sign, because 09 chucks the dollar sign. Until dollar sign it will go on doing things. So it will do this first new line, then it will print the 3 whatever is in the 3 bytes of this char, and then it will see the dollar sign to end up. So all the 3 will be executed. So what should I do now? Then I say here, like I should say first maybe move AH comma 09h, and then I will move in a DX, comma offset of show, and interrupt 21h to call it like this. Okay, so into 21h it will call this function actually 09h to print the string, and this time we have the offset of show. That means this, because 09h is for the strings actually, it starts from the offset, ends up to the dollar. So it will show us all the 3, whatever there is in between. Maybe we had a different variable here having a different value, that will also be printed. So it is to print everything what comes between the offset. Say for example, the offset is the first address here, what we put in the DX register offset, until the dollar is seen. So everything, it will be printed. Okay, it's a very strong statement here to print everything, whatever. So when we are done, we got to exit, and exit is done by putting AH, another function that is for CH, and different it's int 21. So in 21 की दूसरी function for CH, for all these functions have to put in the AH, because 21H whenever it is seen by the assembler, it chucks AH register. So we have to put in the AH register to do the things, and that's it. So maybe we say and start, the label we have, whatever we have. We could have put some other labels, but we had to put that label here also. It means another program. Rest those what you have seen in the AXC type model, that we have to show assumes and data segments, data and segment, code segment, data and code, and so on. We have and S directives, that is and segment directives, and initialize. We have to initialize the assume directive. CS is to data, CS is to code, and DS is data, and so on. These things are not to be written here. They will be done by the assembler by themselves. Then, but we have to do it by the dot, like this dot model tiny. When you say dot model tiny, and accordingly we could have done a dot model maybe small. We should have put in a small actually, not tiny, by the ways, because tiny will not create a data segment. Tiny will have everything in a one segment. So we should say small. Small has one data segment and one code segment, and there can be many other memory models, like we have flat, we have lot more, which needs more memory actually. So if we have a small, it has a one code segment of 64K, number of data segments also one. If we have medium, it could have any number of code segments, but data segment is one again. If we have compact, it have one code segment and any number and any size of data segment. If you have large, it has both code and data segment, any number, any size. Same is for the huge. Large and huge is around about same. It could have any number of code segments, any size of code segment, not necessarily 64K, and data segments also any number, any size. So large and huge, they have any number of code and data segment. Compact, it has a 164K code and any number of data segments. Medium, is it will have a code segment any number any size, but data segment is of 64K. But the small, which you use maximum times in our programs here, is small, that has a one code segment and one data segment, each of less than or equal to 64K. That's why I use a small. If you use a tiny, that's for the COM program. It has only one segment. Everything is put inside the one segment. So whatever, I will just give it a recap, and after that I will run it. So I'm using my model small, then it's dot stack, I say dot dot mod, this for the shortcut to say assembler, to do things yourself. All those assumes and etc etc. So my data is here, that is this is for the new line. This is the array of 3 bytes long, this is that of char dollar. This is what I'm doing a trick to show you a little bit of trick to actually print everything between this and this. So I have to put in the DX register the offset of the show, and up to the show, up to the dollar, everything in between. Maybe I have 20 data types here. They will be all printed. So and the message maybe we have in a different way, and at the end you type it this 10, 13 and dollar to end it as well. So also to print this, I need to put in the DX is the offset of the message now, and will print up to the dollar sign, whatever is in between. That is, you type it this, and this is a new line for. And then I got a code segment. It's actually code segment, and I'll start label, and it's actually the program where from I'm telling assembler you have to execute program from this label onwards. This is the boilerplate code. Initialize the DS data segment register, and I'm putting because I have to put things into the char. So I need to put an address of char. I'm putting actually in a sum register, say BX. Okay. Now I'm with the 01H function call. I have to put things into this BX. BX is the address locating pointing to the char. And now I will say contents of BX. So I say contents of BX because interrupt 01H will get one character from the keyboard that will be put into the AL. So I have to put AL into the contents of BX. That is BX pointing. That will be the first byte of the char. And I have to do it for the 3 times. How many times I have here? 3 times. So if I would have been 10 times, I would initialize CX with 10 times. It's a loop. So you're learning here also the loop. Loop will work with the CX. How many times the CX will have is the initialization. If it is 3 times, it will run for 3 times. And when it runs for 1 time, it will decrement automatically the CX register. CX register goes decrementing automatically. No need to say that decrement CX. Okay, now we have done for the 1 time, then it will do 2 times, but we have to increment BX also, because the BX now should point to the second byte of char. Second byte of char, then third byte of char. So we have to increment as well. It's like you do in a for loop in a C, where we have we initialize I is equal to 0, I is less than some value, and then I plus plus. We do I plus plus also, so that it will point to the next memory location. What is happening here? It's incrementing this thing. Then it's initialization part. Then we have to print it. First we print the message. So we have to put the offset of message in the DX register, because 09H of 21H function works with the DX register. So we have to put the message offset, and similarly we have put, when you have to print those arrays, we have to put the show register. We have to put show into the DX register, and it will print it. And at the end, this is actually to exit to the DOS. It is actually to give control back. That's force CH. When force CH is seen, the control is given back. So let me try my hands to run it now. I'll see if it will have an errors or not. So I will say TASM. What's the name? It's tiny. It should not put tiny name for small. And whatever it is, TASM. So no errors. Whatever. So I say T-Link. Whatever. Now I'll run it. Tiny. So it's waiting for me to input 3 numbers. Before I say 3, 4, 5, and he's giving me, you type it this 3, 4, 5. Maybe I will say again, I will run it tiny tiny. Sorry, run it. So I will say A, B, C. and just give it, you type with this ABC, but it's not going good. Here there should be a new line character as well here. So let me change my program a bit to get this thing. I will say here, before this I will say 10 comma and save it. Then I will again assemble it, then link it, then run it. Yep. So I will say 1 2 3. You type this 1 2 3, but we've got 2 lines here. I'm gonna fix it some way. So I'll be A B C, and oh, I'll first run the program. That's tiny. The name of the program, because it's an executable file. Say ABC. It's giving me, and you type it this ABC. But the question is, because this is this clarity problem, because this is giving the again another line, so I should not put it here. Maybe this I will not put it like this. I put it like this, only this thing. So we've got 2 lines actually. So I will again link it to Hassan. What was the name? Yeah. And then second step is to link the name of the file, tiny.asm, you could say. Now it's an executable file, so I have to say only tiny. It's .exe actually here, .exe. You don't need to write. And waiting for me, I'll say 1 2 3. You type it this 1 2 3. Okay. So I think that's okay. You might have understood this thing. Wait for the next program. Until then, masalama.